They're round. You can see them before I know. Well, no, they had done it. I don't know that Friday. Okay. They're not that. They're 18th or something. Good deal.
I was concerned because I wasn't able to find it in the minutes or anybody able to give me information as to how the discussion led up to the proposal amendments being formulated. Usually when there is a change in anything, there has to be a documented meeting where there's been discussion, there's been a vote, and there's a reason as to the rationale for changes. When I submitted the request and I got a response from Attorney Spencer, and with the help of Ms. Hudson, and the response basically said that there were no documents in existence, nor had there ever been given to me on November 16th. I had to call back today, and Ms. Hudson, we went through it, and at 5:40 something, I got a copy of the third page, which lists, and it's already approved, it's November 16th minutes, that there had been discussion, and it was not in a council meeting. As a matter of fact, maybe exactly what the minutes say. It was the call meeting on Monday, November the 16th at 4 p.m. It was item number 4, which is the charter amendments. And it says, Attorney Spencer stated that the proposed charter changes fall under OCGA Chapter 3635 Home Improvement Rules, and the city has the authority to amend the city charter, and that in his opinion, the proposed changes do not violate the statute. Attorney Spencer stated that he is asking permission from council to proceed and to post the proposed changes in the newspaper. The changes will have to be posted for 3 weeks for within 60 days of the proposed adoption date. The amendments will be adopted in 2 regular meetings of City Council, which will be in December and January. He stated that by placing the synopsis in the newspaper with the city clerk at City Hall is in no way the finalizing of these changes. Voting to adopt the changes will be for the first time during the meeting in December, then again in January of 2016. These amendments would be final. Before amendments would be final. Ms. Bruni Hudson asked for clarification about the changes of who would be able to sign checks below the amount of the newly proposed amount of $10,000 mark. Attorney Spencer explained that any 2 approved signers will be eligible to sign a check, i.e. the mayor pro tem, or either 2 staff members. Mayor Brown pointed out that no workshops were held to involve the public, no public hearing was held, and that additional charter changes are needed. Ms. Nikki Bradley stated that these amendments are a direct result of Mayor Brown's inactions and unwillingness to let city staff run the city efficiently and effectively. Ms. Bradley further explained that no meetings were held by council, I reiterate, no meetings were held by council, but that the proposed changes result from direct conversation with the city attorney or questions in passing on how to avoid certain issues altogether due to Mayor Brown's unwillingness. She further explained that most of the issues will be resolved with the proposed amendments should be well known to Mayor Brown, since Attorney Spencer noted those in a letter sent to him a few months ago. Attorney Spencer pointed out that the reason for posting the charter amendments in the newspaper of City Hall is to get public input, and that noting it is not set in stone as yet. He also stated that the proposed change in section 228 is an amendment of the Code of Ordinance and is different than a charter amendment, and that can be adopted during the December meeting if council chooses to do so. Mayor Brown refused to call for a motion. 2/3 of the council was in favor of moving forward with this motion. Ms. Nikki Bradley made a motion to approve the proposed charter amendments and Code of Ordinance section 28 changes, and give permission for Attorney Spencer to move forward with the posting the changes in the newspaper and City Hall. Ms. Annie Bauer seconded the motion, unanimous vote. Mayor Brown expressed his opinion and said the clerk noted that the motion was illegal. Attorney Spencer said that it was merely the mayor's opinion and does not make it so. With no further business, the meeting was adjourned. I want to go back to the fact that, like I said in my open records request, and the response that I got back saying that there was nothing to report on that. There was those meetings no held. As Ms. Bradley stated in here, there was no meetings held. That's in direct violation of open meetings law. How are you going to discuss something, make changes, and these are just, we call them ordinances, but these are ultimately laws. These are things that are governed, they're put in place to govern, and you're changing things, and there's no discussion. You reading the minds, was there a legal meeting, passing, and she said, what was the word, passing, and conversation, and then all of a sudden it becomes this. My other concern after getting that happened was that, he said there was no correspondence about this. There was a letter that went out on November the 6th, the council members, and in the letter, Gerald Spencer said, this is a letter and it was referenced to Mayor Brown, Mayor Pro Tem Nikki Bradley, and all the council persons, is amendment to charter and code of ordinances. Dear Mayor and Council, includes pursuant to the request of the council, please find proposed amendments to the charter and code of ordinances. I'm ready to discuss these at your convenience. Now, if you listen again, he says, enclosed pursuant to the request of council. I went through, I called and looked at all the minutes, and there's been no request from council. And a request from council can only be done in a council meeting, because if it's not recorded in the minutes, it doesn't happen, it's not legal, it's illegal. It falls under the open records and the sunshine laws as far as meeting. And the letter attached are the proposed amendments on that. Okay, that was on November the 6th. On November the 16th, when they had the meeting, the minutes I just read, and the proposals were discussed, not read, but discussed during that time. And then, like I said, Ms. Hudson had the comment about who's gonna make the changes, or who were the exact people, because the language in the proposed amendment, the section she was referring to, which is section 50, which happens to do with finance, the original word says, all expenditures in the city in excess of $10,000 or more shall be paid out of the city funds by check signed by the mayor or mayor pro tem and city clerk. All expenditures $10,000 and below shall be signed by the clerk and the city manager. Her question was, as I read earlier in the minutes, was, who are these people? My concern is now, when I look at the paper, these are all the minutes, and this is what was approved according to the motion that was made by Ms. Bauer and all that was approved, and then for him to move forward with it. When I look at the motion, the proposals that's in the paper, the proposal that was also posted at the courthouse, the verbiage has changed from that. The verbiage now says, section 50 again, that all expenditures of the city in excess of $10,000 or more shall be paid out by the city funds by check signed by the mayor or mayor pro tem and the city clerk or the city manager. All expenditures of $10,000 and below shall be signed by two of the following: city or city manager or mayor pro tem. Okay. Another change was too, in the original proposed amendments, section 13, mayor pro tem, it says that amended section 13 by striking the present section's entirety and adopting the following to be known as section 13. The council shall elect a mayor pro tem at its first regular meeting in January of each year, who shall exercise the duties of mayor in case of the mayor's absence, refusal, or inability to act for any reason. Again, another change came up as the one that was posted at the courthouse and the one printed in the paper, and it reads this way: the amended one says, amend section 13 by striking the present section in its entirety and adopting the following to be read as section 13. The council shall elect a mayor pro tem at its first regular meeting of January of each year, who shall exercise the duties of the mayor in case of the mayor's absence, refusal, or inability to act for any reason. This section shall become effective upon adoption and shall apply to the mayor pro tem for the year 2016. Now there's even been another change when it comes to the actual ordinance that I guess if passed tonight that will be signed, and that says, being ordained by the mayor and city council of the city of Quitman, and the charter of the city of Quitman is hereby amended as following. By adopting the charter amendment set out in an attachment exhibit A, all ordinances in effect are hereby repealed. Other ordinances in conflict hereby are hereby repealed. This ordinance shall take effect January the 1st, 2016, passed and adopted this blank day of January 2016. And then this is supposed to have the mayor's, the fixed seal or whatever on it. But in here, the problem comes up, it is illegal to go back and pass an ordinance on one day, or ordinance or law, whatever you wanna refer to it as, and make it retroactive as far as placement. And either, when you pass it, it can in effect then, or you can set a later date for the effectiveness of it going into effect. That was my concern with that. Another concern that I had that, is unconstitutional for if the section 13 were changed now, because on January 1, 2016, even as we speak today, the current charter is in effect. There's proposals for changes, but nothing has been adopted, nothing has been official, and nothing has been signed as far as that. So, the current constitution, or current charter, as you say, allows for the mayor to appoint mayor pro tem. It doesn't say when, whatever, it just says he has, that's the given right he has, that he appoints mayor pro tem. To go back now, and according to what these minutes are trying to say for today, to change that and elect based on a law that you're trying to pass today, when something is already in effect, has already been put in place, is unconstitutional of the council, because the council is attempting to remove a benefit that's given to one person. And that in itself is unconstitutional. But I'm bringing all this to light to say that, there's some strong indications of, open records violation, open meetings violation, and I'm really concerned that between the 16th, when the council met and moved forward with the proposals that were given, and the 24th, when it actually made the paper in the courthouse, there was added words to it. Anytime you add or delete, you've made another change, which causes an amendment to an amendment, or just an amendment itself, and it has to go back through the whole process. You just can't take it and say, well, we were thinking that, we just do it on there. It has to go back through, it has to be recorded, it has to be in record, and we as the public, or just in general, it has to be a part of the record that it was readdressed, and this is actually what was going on. As of the 16th, what was voted on was the initial proposal that went out. And so, my concern with that is that, the process is illegal. I've, started paperwork with the Attorney General's office on this. I'm very concerned because, that's the whole point of having laws. It's good if you have to change them. I know there's a need for update and all that, but there's procedures. As, Attorney Spencer stated here, there are laws that govern how you change laws. And they have to be followed, has to be documented, you know, you have discussions and all that, but if it's not in the minutes, it didn't occur. You have to be able to go back and show, and the public be able to go back to see that it was documented, it was voted upon, and it had the actual amount of support needed to make it into a law or to get where it needs to go. So that's my concern with that.
Thank you.
These changes, there's probably more things that we'll realize that we can tighten up on to eliminate some of these fraudulent possibilities of fraud, and ID, issues. So I definitely wanted to let you all know, because I am, sure, citizens will call and tell you all about it.
Okay, please. Thank you. That was it for your section. City manager. So, there was, did we go into executive session? Okay, it's just something, all right. Okay, with that being said,
Mayor Brian.
okay.
I'm the one that put that on there. I wanted to discuss, possibility of coverage, city manager coverage That's true.
So if 4 are not here present, then it can. I'm just trying to get clarity. I don't need it from the audience, Ms. Bailey. As a
That's not what he
journalist.
said. He said to
I'm-
recognize them.
Excuse me.
Look, I sat here and been quiet, graded in public, at the mayor's approval.
we're good. Come on.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest.
Get pictures. Come on, take me to jail, book me. Right now. Will Bond, that's not what he said. He said to recognize them.
Excuse me.
Look, I sat here and been quiet, graded in public, at the mayor's approval.
We're good.
As a
That's not what he
journalist.
said. He said to
I'm-
recognize them.
Excuse me.
Look, I sat here and been quiet, graded in public, at the mayor's approval.
We're good.
As a
That's not what he
journalist.
said. He said to
I'm-
recognize them.
Excuse me.
Look, I sat here and been quiet, graded in public, at the mayor's approval.
We're good.
As a
That's not what he
journalist.
said. He said to
I'm-
recognize them.
Excuse me.
Look, I sat here and been quiet, graded in public, at the mayor's approval.
We're good.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest. We're good. Come on.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest. We're good. Come on.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest. We're good. Come on.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest. We're good. Come on.
I don't have to leave.
Yes,
If you, then you'll have to arrest me.
You're under arrest.
Get pictures. Get pictures. Get pictures. Get pictures. Come on, take me to jail, book me. 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 Come on, take me to jail, book right now. We'll bind you. 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 Mayor, before you start, I want to object to the notice for the call
Excuse
meeting.
me.
Because it was
Excuse me.
not a
Excuse
location
me.
noted of the call meeting, and I
Excuse
consider
me.
this a
This is,
special meeting, and I want that on the
you-
record tomorrow.
City of Gordon, call meeting, council agenda.
Mayor, if there's not a quorum, you cannot open the meeting.
Excuse me.
I want that on the record too
This
tomorrow.
is not a call meeting.
That's what it says. You notified everybody that it's a call meeting, Mayor.
The mere fact of the matter is that it was a call meeting, but due to the fact, we've just started, and it takes 4 to make a quorum.
That's true.
So if 4 are not here present, then it cannot be called, we cannot hold a meeting.
That's correct.
But, and we don't need response from the audience. It would be nice if everybody would just, sit and be attentive as adults are. So because of it not being we cannot have a quorum, the simple fact would be that we were here to discuss the situation with the water. And,
It's not a meeting.
this is not a meeting, so you can excuse yourself. critical because it demands our most urgent attention and action. And we have until the 10th of April to comply with EPA's regulation.
What's gonna happen? So,
Council,
There's no
Whipple has done
council
a
here,
great
Mayor.
job in.
There's no council here, Mayor, it's
Yeah.
not a quorum. You cannot call this
G.B.R.
council. This is not a meeting.
It's just a public talking, that's all it is.
Exactly.
yeah, just
Thank you, Mayor.
discussion.
Thank you, Chief.
Take that off the record, it's not a meeting.
The meeting is now called to order. Today's date is January 8th, 2016. And for those of you not seen, Happy New Year. We know that this is a called meeting. We have on the agenda, initiate investigation in accordance with Charter Provision Section 3.12.
Yes, ma'am, I'd like to go ahead and make this, motion. Because the city council remains under a duty to comply with the open records request, because this council has the power under Section 312 to investigate the mayor's actions, I now make a motion that this council initiate an investigation into the office of the mayor of the city of Gordon and examine her conduct pertaining to the production of emails under the Open Records Act. I'll make that as a motion.
And I second.
Motion has been made and second, discussion.
I would like to say that, if we're gonna go by the charter, we're gonna have to go by the charter by everything. Not just some things, we're gonna have to go by the charter with everything. And I was reading over section 312, and that could mean for something else too. While reading over the charter provision section 312, I reviewed some of the other orders, such as section 216, part 5 and 1. If you have your charter, you can follow it with me. Everybody else?
Pardon me, but this is strictly about just 312,
This
one
is-
motion that we have in front of us.
This is about 312, but it
Okay.
also, just to keep in mind, that when you were reading, and I think you probably need to, hear this, Councilman E.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay. I reviewed some of the other orders, and like I said, this could be pertaining to, it is pertaining to 312 too. That under the orders such as 216, no elected official, appointed officer, or employee of the city or agent or political entity to which the charter applies shall knowingly represent other private interests in any action or proceeding against the city on any portion of its government or any portion of its government, engage in any business or transaction or have a financial or other personal interest, direct or indirect, which is in compatibility with the proper discharge of his official duties or which would tend to impair the independence of his judgment. And this city is still in court and awaiting the judge's decision. And we have two councilmen, Councilman Edie, yourself, and Councilman Densley, that are part of an action that could impair you all's judgment for anything that goes in the city. Because you do have a law, action against the city, and it's still in court.
And that is a violation of the Gordon's charter.
And so, I would ask the council, I suggest that the council stop this cat and mouse game and move this city forward and honor the city oath of office, section 311, which states they will support and defend the charter. And I suggest with that, I would like to suggest that we remove this motion.
My motion still stands. I request that we have a roll call vote at this time.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Request a roll call vote, please.
Is there any further discussion, council? Roll call discussion. Councilman, let's hear what you have to say, Councilman. Roll call discussion. Roll call discussion. Councilman, let's hear what you have to say, Councilman. Roll call discussion. Councilman, Densley, you don't have any discussion about what, was just said?
No, I understood what she said, real good.
And what was that?
What she just read, I said, I understand it.
You understand that?
What she read, I understand what she read.
Okay, and you understand what, Councilman Edie is
Yeah.
saying? So what's your take? Right. What are you in support of?
Yes.
On what motion?
Only motion we have.
All right.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Councilman, let's hear what you have to say, Councilman. Roll call discussion. Councilman, Densley, you don't have any discussion about what, was just said?
No, I understood what she said, real good.
And what was that?
What she just read, I said, I understand it.
You understand that?
What she read, I understand what she read.
Okay, and you understand what, Councilman Edie is
Yeah.
saying? So what's your take? Right. What are you in support of?
Yes.
On what motion?
Only motion we have.
All right.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
I vote aye.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Councilman Smallwood?
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Councilwoman Toles?
No, because in violation of the charter, this is brought action against the city of Gordon, really.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216. We don't need no more suits against the city. Because you can't, when we went to court, we found out that it was not against the mayor, but the mayor was sued, it was against the city of Gordon, because the mayor stands for the city of Gordon. I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
You gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Aye.
I vote no.
I vote no.
I'm letting y'all know that you are in violation.
Gotta vote on the roll call.
Of the charter, section 216.
Motion carries.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made. Any discussion? If not, we thank you all for coming. It's all the way around.
Madam Mayor, do you have anything to say before they get you?
Excuse me.
Do you have anything you would like to say?
I'd just like to say that this council is in violation, and with everything that's going on, it's a court issue, and so we'll let the courts deal with it.
A lot of love and a lot of unity. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excuse me, brother. How you feel about tonight, man?
Well, to me, it's nonsense. That's all it's about. It's just plain old nonsense. Things gotta change, and some people don't want to accept the change.
You still singing that song, huh?
But I can't help it. You know, they still singing that same old song, trying to get our mayor kicked out of office. That's an old song. We should find a new song, and that song should say togetherness. That's what this city council should be building themselves on, trying to join themselves together and work together. But they are only at getting our mayor out of office instead of taking care of business that the city should be taking care of.
Okay, thank you very much, Elijah. I'm going to ask you another question.
Sure.
What if I told you this is going on in approximately 12 to 15 other cities in the state of Georgia? What would you think about it? I mean, the same identical thing. I just left Lumpkin. I just left QUITMAN, Georgia. And now they say in Nichols, Georgia, they're having the same problems. In fact, a charter that had not been changed since 1923. Isn't that something?
That is something. And I will say this here too. It's understandable because, you know, since you mentioned about the time, you got the old school's still in there.
Yes, sir.
That old iron fist
Yes, sir.
that keeps supposed to try to keep blacks up underneath the foot.
Yes, sir.
They might as well change more shoes because we been came out from under that foot. We lifting the leg. And if we have to, we'll lift the body too. So we are making the changes and they might as well accept it. So I can understand it going on all over Georgia and probably all over the United States. But people have got to learn, we got to change.
Thank you very much.
You're in a different capacity, right, than when I usually interview. So what would you say your title is?
Well, my title now, I'm here representing the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials. And we have here our treasurer and some other officers and supporters. And we are just, frankly, fed up with the mistreatment of one of our members, Mayor Mary Ann Whipple. She, from the time that she was duly elected, she has not been allowed to represent as she was elected to do. She has had one harassment tactic used on her after another. It is totally unfair. We as elected officials will not tolerate it. We are here to offer our support to her, and we are going to join in from the legal standpoint as well as being just here to support her, to let her know that she is not standing alone and this injustice will not prevail. She will be allowed to operate as an elected official as she was duly elected to do, and we're here to give her that support in doing her job in representing the people of Gordon, Georgia.
Gotcha. And you mentioned legal support. Are you planning on taking any action?
She already has an attorney, and whatever action we can join in and support, we are willing to do that. We represent thousands of elected officials around the state of Georgia, and they are fed up as well with the mistreatment, because this could be happening to any of us and has happened to all of us. One of the goals of the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials is to offer that support and to offer that advice and to offer that representation for our members who are being unfairly targeted and mistreated.
And tell me, do you want to respond directly to what the Gordon City Council has done tonight in initiating an investigation?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I saw a lot of improper procedures that were followed. I saw the Robert's Rules was just thrown out the door here tonight.
Can you go into a little more detail about that?
There was not a call for a vote on the roll call. There were a number of procedures. There was no section there or allowance for input from the public at all. And so this was really a kangaroo court here tonight. You had 4 folks who came in with a preconceived idea of driving one more nail into this lady's coffin, and that's what they're trying to do. We are here standing with her to say we will not tolerate this.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add, Ms. Lucas? All right. Thank you so much. As
All right.
always.
All right. I hope you
Eric
can
Mott.
use
Eric Mott.
I hope they let you use it.
Oh, of course I'll use it.
I am not surprised at all, and that is why the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials is such an important organization, and it's very, very important that we get more and more of our folks to join to make sure that we have a strong organization so that we can give support, both legal and emotional support, to our members. We have had black mayors who have been shot. We have had black mayors that have had recall efforts brought against them, and Mayor Whipple is just one more in that line of folks who are being done wrong, and we cannot stand for that. Our organization is one that tries to make sure that there are networking opportunities, but also support opportunities for all of our members. And Mayor Whipple, it is obvious to us that she needs our support here because because she is constantly under attack. I frankly don't understand how she's been able to hold up under all of these constant attacks that have been leveled at her day in and day out, and she's supposed to represent and serve the people here and carry out her duties as an elected official. It takes a superhuman person to be able to carry out their duties, and then they're constantly being attacked. It's totally unfair. Many of these things are illegal, and in the end, Mayor Whipple will be allowed to operate as a duly elected official here in Gordon, Georgia.
Okay, my question is, with everything that took place tonight, the form in which it was brought forth, they took up taxpayers' dollars by having to pay these people for coming tonight, but what do you think about the legal aspect? We had two or three people there from the city attorney, and seemed like they would have given some type of guidance. So, I mean, what kind of legal representation do you think the mayor has at this time?
Well, it's obvious that she doesn't have any. It's obvious that these people are operating and working against her, and they need to be dismissed immediately.
Certainly, the attorneys have from the very outset not represented the mayor in any way as a representative of the city. And for a meeting like this, to go into an investigation, and you are right, the attorney should have explained what was going on and how many votes were needed. Because I'm not certain, when you look at their charter, that they can do it with 4 votes, because the charter specifically spells out that if they're going to do anything, it takes 5 votes to do anything. So if you're going to do that, then it seems like to me it's also given that you would have to have 5 votes to go into an investigation, because they can investigate all they want, if they still don't have 5 votes, there's nothing they can do to the mayor. So it didn't even make any sense to do this. Those lawyers have not given any guidance at all to this mayor since day one. And of course, for them to sit here and be paid tonight, you did say that, and they are going to turn in their billing, and they're paid tonight for this kangaroo court. It's just a travesty of justice, and it's just awful. And I hope that the people of Gordon can see this. Sometimes they need to stand up. We need a concerned citizen of Gordon who are concerned about what's happening in the carrying out of the laws of Gordon, because the laws certainly are not being carried out like they should be and like they were intended to be carried out.
Thank you very much. And what's your name and position in Macon?
My name is Reverend Henry Ficklin, and my position in Macon is I'm the pastor of a church, but with G.B.R, I am the treasurer of G.B.R.
I heard you was a former mayor, former something. What? Former what?
I was former city council. I was city council for 30 years in Macon, Georgia.
That's what I'm looking for.
So I'm very familiar with the laws and city charters and how things should be done.
Thank you very much. Any closing remarks from beautiful sister?
We are on the case as we have been as an organization for 40 years. And what we just need is for all those who are concerned about this kind of injustice to come and join with us and help us to defend not only Mayor Whipple, but all of the other elected officials who are under attack, constant attack, so that they cannot perform their job duties.
Thank you very much. I have to ask you this question. I'd be remiss if I did not. I came to Macon when the QUITMAN 10+2 was going through their ordeal. You and your husband, Senator Lucas, I must say that we want to thank you all for the work that you all did with the QUITMAN 10+2. And as you know, they was exonerated of all 119
Absolutely.
charges. So we want to thank you, as well as the late Robert Brown for the support that you gave to the community there in QUITMAN and Brooks County,
Well, it's
Georgia.
what we're all about. It's what G.B.R is about, and that's what we're going to show people, that we are a strong organization, that we are rebuilding, and that we're going to be here for elected officials, especially those who are members of the organization who are being mistreated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I understand that you had something you may want to say.
Yeah, I attended the meeting on Monday, and on the note with the attorney, you know, the representation of the Mayor Lou, he had a bill of $46,000, $43,000. I mean, so how would he have a bill with that amount? He has not represented the mayor in no shape, form, or fashion. So, I mean, come on, what's wrong with this picture? And also on Monday,
Hold on a minute. Put a pin in Monday. You said how many thousands of dollars?
$43,000.
Was that covering what period of time?
I don't know.
You don't know, but there was a bill for.
$43,000
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
to pay attorney Bowles.
Okay, go ahead.
And the next thing was at the meeting, the mayor was here. The mayor pro tem, Edie, he blotted out her name and put in his name to go forth on paying a bill of $100,000 more to pull from the Fund 1 account. They had all, keep in mind, 2 weeks ago, they requested $150,000 from the Fund 1 account. And it was made a motion that they get $100,000. They come back 2 weeks later and they want another $150,000. So what's going on? What's wrong with this picture? I think they want to drain the account. Something is going on. They don't want this forensic audit. So something is wrong with the picture. And then on top of that, Edie votes. If he's the mayor pro tem, how does he have the right to vote? If the mayor excused herself, she can't vote, and he stood up in her place, how can he vote?
Let me ask you a question that a lot of people in the community have spoken to me about, and that is Councilman Densley, as well as Thomas Smallwood. It seems as if though those two in particular, if not Councilman Wynn, it seems to be a asserted effort to stick together on the vote. Now, the word that I got on the street was that they call the four councilmen as the Gordon Coalition. It seems as if they vote the same way all the time, and they vote as a pack.
Yes.
Do you think that is true, and a merit to that, or do you think the people in the community have told me something that is not right?
No, that is so true. They are so anti the mayor. And it's premeditated. When they get here, it's already premeditated what they're gonna do. You know, they vote. Smallwood, he can't make a vote without Edie, looking at Edie. And Mr. Freddie can't make a vote without looking at Edie. And George, he's just totally anti the mayor. So it's already premeditated when they get here. So it's a setup.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question here now that may not be too favorable, number one. And number two, I may get criticized myself, but it's okay, because what I'm concerned about is the truth. Why is it that the black pastors, the black bishops, black business owners in surrounding areas, it seems as if though they're lost in the cosmos and cannot come to see what is happening here in the state of Georgia for the Middle District of Georgia? What's your opinion on that, if you have one?
It's like it always been that way in the city of Gordon. It's like the constituent is their mind concept. I don't know whether it go back to slavery or, you know, it's the Uncle Tom and the being afraid to stand up. But we are in the 21st century. It's time to speak out. We have people that died for us to have the right to vote. All the amendments, the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, but it's like they're afraid here. They're afraid of change. They don't want to move, you know.
Let me ask you another question, and I do want to be independent of your answer. I asked the question, but I want to be independent from your answer, and I'm going to form it in this fashion because I am familiar and I don't want to impose upon you my ideas. But do you think, number one, that there's a great possibility that TV stations, the Wilkinson County Post, and possibly the attorneys may be in some type of unity together for an agenda that most of us may not know nothing about?
Oh, yeah. They're in cahoots. The other night I spoke with the guy on 24. He told all the negative, and some of it was not true. Because, I mean, it's just absurd. He don't want to hear he don't want to hear the truth. He only reports all the bad things. And Miss Bailey, she's the same way. all of them, it is obvious, all of them are in cahoots together.
Have you noticed in my videos from Douglas, Georgia, wherein the Douglas Enterprise just outright lied on Commissioner Olivia Cody? And in Meigs, Georgia, she is without a news media that will be fair and balanced. It is obvious that in Lumpkin, Georgia, the late, or not late, but former Mayor Charles Gibson did not have a news media that would report his story. And of course, the city clerk, Naya Williams, was just terminated at a public meeting before everybody without even being notified that she was fired. And all this is on my YouTube channel. Have you been following that on my YouTube channel?
Yes.
So what?
It's the same thing that's here. They only report what they want to report, and when they make a report, it's negativity. Where's 13? Where's 41? 24? It make you think maybe they're about out. You know, I don't know. Something is going on.
What newspaper was here tonight? I mean, what TV station? What TV station? We know what newspaper.
Channel 24.
Who owns Channel 24? Do you know?
I do. I don't have a idea.
I think that maybe somebody need to look into who owns that station. I'll tell you who owns the Ghetto Free Press. I do. And we believe, as a retired veteran of 21 years, I believe that these news reporters and television stations should be at these meetings. For how can you vote and cast a vote unless it is reported to the general public?
Exactly.
One other thing. I just left QUITMAN, Georgia, with Mayor James Charles Brown III. And believe it or not, the meeting Tuesday night, I left Lumpkin Monday night, in QUITMAN Tuesday night, called to Nichols, Georgia, but they decided to wait until the police report is finalized and they're going to release some information to the press. But in QUITMAN, Georgia, they had a big camera there, as I've already posted today. It is a news media out of Dothan, I think it's Dothan or Mobile, Alabama. I don't know who paid for it, but they came to report what happened at the QUITMAN council meeting. So to make a long story short, it seemed as if though what you're saying is correct, and that is this, that this is prevalent around the state of Georgia to circumvent the voting process, not to mention the QUITMAN 10+2, who was under charges by the state for 4 years, Ms. Lula Smart, who after 4 years in a 19-day court case that all, back to what you said, all news media in the state of Georgia and the national news media dealing with voting rights after the federal government under the Department of Justice and the Civil Rights Division was fully aware of what was going on. So it seemed as if though what you are saying here is correct, and that is this, that there is an asserted effort between all news media networks to circumvent the information and to suppress the voters here in the state of Georgia. Closing remarks from you.
I think that the mayor should be given a fair chance. All this little nitpicking stuff that's going on. I mean, the 2 years she's been here, she's not allowed to do what she needs to do. So, again, they're not giving her a fair chance. And another thing I noticed too, in the meetings, the clerk, she always has something to say. And that's out of order. She's only here to record. She's not allowed to speak in the meeting unless the mayor give her permission to speak. But she acts as if she's part of the councilman. But she acts as if she's part of the councilman. And she sits there with that smirk on her face. And a thing with the attorney, it's my understanding that Boone was appointed as the attorney. So why is Green? He always got something to say. It's as if Boone, he don't know his job. So, all being said, it's time for a change. It's time for a change. The mayor will be here, whether they like it or not. She has all the blacks and the family support. So they may as well get ready, because it's gonna be some changes.
Madam, my beautiful sister Pam, I must also say that it seems as if though you said all the blacks. I don't think all the blacks. I think there are a few blacks who are against the mayor as well.
Yes.
And I also believe there are some whites that have vouched to me, but they just don't want to go public. I could call their names, but they do not want to go public. But all whites are not against the mayor.
All right.
And I want to be fair and I want to be balanced. So there are a couple of blacks that are against the mayor, as it is in most all these other cities. People have a name for those blacks, especially when these mayors are right. But I will not call them that name. I will leave that for others. But I want to say, I want to thank you for your courage. And my final question is why do you have the courage to speak in front of the camera for all the world to hear when many of our local pastors, our bishops, our uncles and aunties and Aunt James, they will not speak? Where do you get that courage from?
It could be me. And we got to stand. Again, we're in the 21st century. It's time to stand. And the Bible speaks clearly. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Now, what did you say? The Bible say what?
The Bible states, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. It's our time. It's my time. I got the courage, and I'm going to keep the courage. So, they may as well get back. It is our time.
And as T.D. Jakes say, I guess they're ready to go. Thank you so much, Pam.
Yeah, it's been returned. You want good news or bad news? Tell what you want. Don't want this. I want good news. I want good news. It was no vote. Good. It was no vote by the, it was returned to the court, but it was no vote by the.
Oh, it's already been returned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was no vote. And that I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, it was no vote by the grand jury. Yeah. It was no vote.
Even though they look like it.
I just heard that somebody said, well, no bill. What was the verdict?
No bill, Joe.
No bill.
No bill.
Okay.
To Basil, no bill, honey.
No bill.
I wish you could be here to hear it. Basil.
So I ask you again, Madam Mayor, where do you think this will end? And I mean the overall situation. Where do you think that it just may end?
To be honest, the devil continues. I style it as Satan himself. He goes and he comes. It'll be only something else. But as I always say, to God be the glory. He has sustained me, and he will continue to sustain me. And I look to him.
I heard you say something earlier that it has been a month since your husband passed.
Yes.
How do you feel about him possibly, not being here? I know he would have been here with you. And what's your take on the fact that he's not here? And there's a possibility that I have said, trying to be independent, but that some of the stress may have led to his demise.
It certainly did, 100%. The fact of seeing me travail and continuously go through these bogus charges is enough to weigh on anybody. It causes physical as well as mental stress. But, you know, with all of that, I've had to look to God, who is my sustainer, who has sustained me through all of this.
Yes.
Because anybody else who had been put through all of this, there's no way in hell, on the side of heaven, they would have been able to withstand. And I say to this, to God be the glory, and everything belongs to Him. And He is the reason why I do what I do. And I say that my husband was a strong supporter of me. He believed in me, and I believed in him. He loved me, and he trusted what I was doing, and I trusted what he was doing. And to see that taken advantage, I will continue to fight for the plight and stand for what is right. As I've been elected by the people to be the voice for the people. It matters not about black and white, black or white. It's about doing the right thing. These people have blighted our town. They've taken everything and stripped us of it. They want to strip me of my dignity and my respect. They stripped me of the right for my husband. And I will never, ever give up. Thank you.
Never give up. We support
Madam
the
Mayor,
man.
one more thing, please. I know this is hard for you, but I want you to answer this question because I was here at the first time when Ms. Wells was here, and you had a witness that was here, and for some reason, that witness actually witnessed what took place, and she was never called to stand before the grand jury. And I mean, what do you think about that? Is anybody having any comments? Why do you think? Do you have any comments on that, Elijah?
I would say it's just like any other place. These indictments that brought against the mayor is just to downgrade her. They don't want her in the position that she's in. And whenever she has anyone that wants to stand strong beside her to help support her, this legal system is not going to let them come forward to voice their views on what issues that has happened. The mayor has endured some of the worst abuse anyone could have to go through. She have lost her husband, and people don't even have dignity enough to give her the respect to mourn the way a woman should mourn without having all these problems behind her. We here to support the mayor, no matter what they do to try to down her or bring her down. She has supporters, and I'm one that gonna support her until the very end, no matter what, because this is one strong woman, and she's a woman that's about our town. These few people that's downing her and everything has an agenda. And people don't know what this agenda is, but I would like to tell them. They've been stealing from this town for so long that they don't want people to know what's been going on. But the simple fact is, this lady came into office and she asked them for a forensic audit. This is where everything came down on her at, because she asked for a forensic audit so people will know that she don't have anything to hide when she come in office. She wanted the book open so she'll know where the money is and what's being done, this and that. When you get that type of thing and ask, if you're a criminal, you're gonna try your best to stop it no matter what. And that's what's happening.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell you the main one, and I don't mind calling name, but I keep from calling name though, but that city of God know who is prosecuting our mayor. They know who behind it.
That's it.
And that's my statement.
And we're gonna continue to support her, and they're going down. I mean, they're going down. I mean, no sympathy, no nothing. You know, they have stole long enough. So, what goes up is coming down.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Yes, we support. This is my mother. We support her wholeheartedly. We understand that God has been sustaining her. Their thing is to wear her down mentally, physically, and spiritually, but you cannot shake the Spirit of God, okay? He that is within us is greater than anyone who can be in this world. So all these chantings, all these secret meetings, all of this, it's nothing to us. It doesn't mean anything to us. You can do it all day, all night if you choose to, but we serve the one and only true living God. And we know that He is the author and finisher of every single faith. And if they don't get themselves together, I don't care which side you're on, right or wrong, if you don't get yourself together before that final day, that final call, and you have to stand before the Lord and give your account of what you did and did not do. My mother, she's a good one because she's not going to allow those bad things that they do to shake who she is, because she has to give an account for her reaction to every action. And so she's got us, and we're going to lift her up like they did for Moses. They lifted his arms up and they kept him, and we're going to continue to lift our mother up, our sister up, our community leader up, because she is the mayor of Gordon. And she will continue to be the mayor of Gordon. And I really, ask that other leaders in Gordon and in the county, they step up and show themselves strong, because you have the power. It has always been in your hand. Use it.
Okay, 2 questions, and I don't care who answers this question. Number 1.
I'd like to hear from my mother, George.
Would you like to say anything?
Well, I can't say this. She's my daughter. And as a mother, and how many mothers could stand up, and like I said, and just see how the people are ridiculing her? No, I don't like it. I don't like it, not damn bit.
Now, everybody knows that there is a problem in the state of Georgia on circumventing the power of the black vote, as well as removing mayors from public office. It is approximately 12 cities. So now, the people here are fully aware, I'm sure, that this is indeed a high-profile case. Somebody, anybody, tell me.
Tell the angels I'm on my way. Won't you tell them that I'll be home? Tell the angels I'm on my way to glory. Up there I'll sing. Tell the angels just to make more room. Won't you tell them that I'll be there? Tell the angels that I'm on my way, and I'll be up. Y'all let me say it again. Tell the angels I'm on my way. But won't you tell them that I'll be home? Tell the angels that I'm on my way. Up there I'll sing. Tell the angels just to won't you tell them that I'll be there? Tell the angels that I'm on my way, and I'll be there. My road, rough and rocky, my cross gets hard to bear. My friends, they all have left me, can't find peace nowhere. Tired, Lord, sick and worried. My little soul is feeling bad. But one day, church, I'm going away.
canceled the meeting tonight.
Yeah,
At the last minute. And
have you ever seen anything like this before, man?
I never. You know they arrested the mayor, though.
Yeah, I heard about that.
For that disorderly conduct.
Yeah, what did she do, you know?
I don't know, but you know, disorderly conduct might be
anything. That's right. Anything.
It's a catch-22.
Right.
You know, unless you start cussing somebody or threatening you know, violence or something, that's different. But Linda ain't done nothing. Linda did not do nothing.
Why are you rating the state officials like the Secretary of State and the Attorney General and the Governor? I mean, they got the same problems in Gordon, Georgia.
I don't know why we can't get no help. I tell you,
I've never seen nothing like this before.
Mr. Willie Charles, how you doing?
Yeah, he doing his job.
Don't take it personal, bro. We you know, we
how you doing,
understand.
Mr. Willie Charles?
I'm doing my job.
We know, we got you.
I hope you find a better one because you're a better man than this. You're a good guy. And you need to do that. You need to show you're a good man. You're much better than this, Mr. Willie Charles. Much better. I know it, but he's still a better man.
And we get under Governor Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, Attorney General Sam Olens. I just can't understand. Nobody in the state of Georgia will come down. And what are they waiting? Are they waiting for people to get violent? It seems like that might be what they're waiting on.
I don't know what they're waiting on either.
What do you think about it? You ever seen this before? What do you think about this?
I've never seen this in my life.
But what do you think about the mayor being arrested?
I'm shocked. I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed for Meigs. I love this place. I mean, this is a good place. And the people here are good.
But had you ever seen this before?
Never. And I've lived in the city majority of my life, and I still haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it. I'm very embarrassed for me. I'm embarrassed at the personnel, the people, and how they're putting people in bad positions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Order.
Okay.
That's the right way we want to talk to them, because I told you tough so. Everybody out. Everybody go out. Oh, y'all might welcome. I'll be heard. I can be heard. Oh.
Okay, so there are some eggs over in the back. That's my favorite. You don't have to say it. Hey.
We should ask Tommy Coleman, the attorney, to step down. We don't need him. He's a good man, but he's all of him. We need someone out of Thomas County attorneys, you know, and that's one thing. But I'm asking for the fine of the city manager. She doesn't live here.
Right.
And she's you can't get anything, you know. I got a secretary that's doing several Open Records Act in Georgia that I'm going to give her, and we're going to see where she's going to go from there. But I'm not satisfied with the way it's going, and I see most of you are.
No,
it's not right.
We're not satisfied. She don't give us any
I mean, when the mayor is in charge, the mayor's an elected high official.
Amen.
Isn't that right? Yes, sir. She's a high official, and they should give her respect. She won by a fair election, and they should give her respect, whether they like her or not. But they turn around and get up and walk out and leave all us in here with a lot of questions that we'd like to ask.
Okay, so what's that telling us? Well, that's him. She's using his name. I'm going to ask that you don't use my family's name.
Well, okay, so you were in there on that Saturday.
That's been so long ago. No, we're not finished. Well, we don't have to go. If y'all want to stay in here, because from this point on, we need to do something. Nobody said here. I don't think this is right. But y'all don't have to go. Because this is not right. Y'all can go ahead and voice your opinion. What we got to do, are y'all as citizens, got to stick together.
I've never seen a city council meeting operate like this
I don't
before.
understand how we allow the city attorney to control our meetings. They already, see, all of this was done without my say so. He's not even our attorney. That's not an attorney.
He sent somebody in every time. But you went to this meeting Saturday, and this is why he sent him, because he don't want to answer your question. It's the reason that he didn't come. That's right.
He already know what it is. He's doing double duty. But if I find out that he's at another council meeting and he can't be here, get rid of him. We need to have somebody that can represent us.
That's right.
Because Mr. Coleman, Attorney Coleman, is representing a lot of cities that was mentioned in the training on the weekend. So it's like double duty. He can't be with us for being everywhere else, but the money still rolls to his firm.
Right.
You know, we hired him. I don't even know that man's name.
That's a
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna say one more thing. Is I want to ask Douglas Enterprise, how many black folks y'all got working now? If you can answer the question now. I not seen one.
At least 4, but you think we've only got, you might have 16, 17 employees there.
But but listen, like I said, y'all don't take this as me fussing at y'all, all right? Or me arguing at y'all. This just doing what y'all was doing to me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all right, everybody with the media, please raise your hand. I just want to know, I want to advertise that you're with. I'm with Douglas now.
These 3 are the enterprise.
Okay, these 3 enterprises.
These 3 are the enterprise.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Brown. Get off your press.
Who was he?
Enterprise.
No.
No, this is Douglas now. These 3.
These 3 enterprises. That's Douglas.
What are their names?
What's your name?
Jerry Hudson.
Jerry. That's Jerry.
Robert Preston.
Okay.
Then other names?
Kristen Kitchens, Ed Smith, Luke Roberts.
Okay. All right. Well, as you stated, we get to clarify. I just want to make it clear that the media, let's regardless of what they printed, let's have respect for them. Even though they printed me as a militant, and I'll get into that later on. I mean, I'm glad you're here, but in my heart, I wish you wasn't. I'm just being honest. Because of what you did, and the lies and manipulated to these people, I care less what you say about me. But when you added all these people in here, in this group, to an event that was for the public and well within the community standards, not teaching hate, racism, or none of that. They're just a community meeting, and y'all manipulated that to the truth. But that's another story. I want to hear.
I'm Reverend Larry O'Hara, and first and foremost, we were not, as you stated in the newspaper. I don't want to try to quote it, because when I think about it, my heart is not happy about it. But what I will say is this: we were there, true, but we were there for other purposes. One of the main reasons we were there because we were looking at the We see all the things that's going on in the community, and we were really talking about making the community better. We were talking about making, redoing the NAACP. We were talking about our children. We were talking about our families. We were talking about many things. But what y'all put in the paper, to me, that was, that's one of the worst things probably you could have done. It had nothing to do with white people. It had nothing to do with black people. It had to do with people, period. And that's what we were trying to do. We're trying to make the community better. And what you put in that paper will make the community worse. And actually, to be honest with you, if I was your mom and your dad, I'd probably spank your bottoms for what you're doing there. Because you never gave the oppressor, your oppressor, the opportunity to say what is and what is not. You just took something and you ran with it. You ran with it, and that was the wrong thing to do. As a minister, I got to love you anyhow, but what you said, I don't like. I'm going to be straight up and foremost in front of you. And I'm also let you know that I'm one of the type ministers, I will meet you up front and not in the back. But I want y'all to know, as far as the NAACP, we are very much appalled at what you did. Very much appalled. I have nothing else to say.
Mr. Nick G.B.R. President, former president for over 20 years with the NAACP.
I'll stay seated. I'd just like to ask a question to the media. Have you ever received any feedback from the community? Any feedback about this article from the community?
I don't think that Douglas, that article said anything about what happened at that specific meeting. It was more or less about Mr. Worthy's activities.
Let me share something with you.
I don't work for the enterprise.
Wait a minute. The reason I ask that question is because we've received feedback, and probably one of the ugliest is black folk trying to start an organization and start killing white folk. And I'm surprised that y'all haven't heard anything like that. What we've heard from it is negative, just negative. And the fact that these words were put over this, that was the beginning of it. It's just like a setup. No matter what you say, other folk perceive things the way they perceive them. And that wasn't the best way to do business. And I'm quite sure you've heard it before, and if you haven't, you should. It's not. And I'm just interested, and it's probably no good in me saying it, but because you said it's not about it. Well, in your opinion, it's not about it. But you wrote an article, and you started something that wasn't good for this community. You actually did. You started something that wasn't good for this community. Now, I wrote your letter, and I asked for you to recant for the spring. I haven't seen it. I was told that it was in today's paper, the letter, or whatever you decided to speak about it. But since I don't have it, I don't know what your intentions are.
If I may, your letter to the editor that you submitted, I believe just a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken,
right,
is being published as we speak right now. The press is running. And, you know, like I said, that was penned by you, and that one is in, which will be the Wednesday, I guess, October 21st edition of the Enterprise.
Okay. Your little caption at the back, that's how I started out. The little caption that was in the back. And 7A,
Finish it from to right here, and then it goes on there.
okay, well, in my letter, I made a specific reference. 7A back page used. While it is unclear at this time as to what was said at the meeting, speaks volumes about an attempt to sensationalize a local story without any facts concerning the purpose for or the communications made during a meeting at the Glasgow Center that was highlighted on the front page of the Douglas Enterprise. I was not asked to confirm or deny anything by the local paper. I am not aware of anyone who attended the meeting being asked to confirm or deny anything quoted by the Enterprise as it relates to the meeting at the Glasgow Center. You put that statement at the back of the paper, and I'll be willing to bet you that most people that read that caption and looked at that picture at the front of the paper didn't even look at anything in the back of the paper. And when you, I mean, as a rule, when you put that caption above a picture in the paper, you're making a statement about that picture. Otherwise, there was no point. Because, I mean, in the very back, you're saying, you don't know what was said. You don't know what was talked about. I mean, what would the purpose of putting the picture be? Now that was my question. Now here's the next thing. Y'all say y'all haven't received any negative feedback. You haven't heard anything like that. I don't understand why other white folk come and talk to us about stuff like that. And y'all don't hear nothing. Y'all in the news media. I don't understand it. See, perception is everything. And a lot of times people say something and they say, I don't mean any harm. Then somebody gets shot in the back of the head. I didn't mean any harm. If I had known that it would have led to this, I would have gave more thought to it. See, in the future, this is what I'm talking about in the future. If you got any questions concerning me, and I'm sure anybody up here, you can talk to me. I mean, you talked to me before without any problem, you know. And what gets me, all these years that I've been president of the NAACP, I haven't once tried to raise hell or stir up hatred in this community. I haven't. I tried to be a bridge builder, try to bring people together, to talk about stuff that we have in common. And I think that this is that's a bad thing. Even though you say it didn't have anything to do with us. Right now, it seems like it had everything to do with us. And something else about NAACP, ACLU, and other organizations like that. Sometimes they deal with people and groups that might not necessarily uphold everything that they would uphold. Martin Luther King Jr. had a friend that was labeled a communist, and they pushed him to not have anything to do with it. That was his friend. His friend hadn't did anything to him, and he wasn't aware of him doing anything equal to anybody else. So, by you trying to label folk or tell people who to talk to and who not to talk to, that's sort of against a lot of amendments that the Constitution had. And we ought to treat each other better. That's my point. And I'm pretty much finished with it.
All right.
To the meeting, Olivia Pearson, City Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Worthy. Again, thank you, Mr. Worthy. To begin, I'm gonna fall back on something that Mr. Presley mentioned. He said that you stated that it had nothing to do with the group. Well, I'm not sure that you stated it didn't have anything to do with the group. I know just a minute ago, Jerry Hudson said it was mainly on Douglas Now, it was mainly about Bobby Worthy.
His article was.
Not quite. Supported by Commissioner Pearson. That's what he stated, which was a total lie because I had nothing to do with Bobby Worthy and Larry Neesmith. That was totally separable from this whole thing that you all have blown to hell, because that's what you've done.
Your name wasn't on that flyer for it, for the meeting, as a supporter?
Who held the meeting? You asked me a question. I'm asking you, who held the meeting?
I did, and you didn't answer it. Wasn't your name on that flyer?
I held the meeting. Sure, my name would be on it.
Well,
see, that's where you went wrong.
That's all we said.
No. That's not all you said. That's not all you said. You said supported by Commissioner Pearson. What was supported by Commissioner Pearson? The meeting that I called, that's exactly right. I called the meeting. Justice League did not call the meeting, first and foremost. They didn't call the meeting. I held a meeting through Southern Rural Black Women's Initiative for Economic and Social Justice. I invited Mr. Bobby Worthy and the NAACP. Let me finish, Mr. Hudson.
That was the point of the article, the mention of you.
No. You claim that the Justice League held this meeting, which was a lie. It was a lie. You said it, as well as the Douglas Enterprise said it. Justice League did not hold a meeting here in Douglas, Georgia. Southern Rural Black Women's Initiative held a meeting. I invited Mr. Worthy. I invited Mr. O'Hara as district rep for the NAACP. I invited Mr. Hal Presley. And matter of fact, I invited the entire community of the city of Douglas, Coffee County, Georgia. I announced it on my city council meeting. So why in the world tell me would I hold a meeting that's going to succumb to or support hatred towards white people or any other people? Why would I hold a public announcement of a meeting like that? I haven't been in office for 15 years to do something so low down and dirty. See, you had your facts, you had your statements incorrect. Had you all given us the respect and decency to come and ask a question, Luke, you were at the meeting when I announced about that flyer. If you have a concern or an issue about it being to hate white folks or kill white folks, seemed like to me you would have had the courtesy, being that you were there, to have came to me, Commissioner Pearson, what is this about? But no, not one of you, journalism fellas or lady, I'm not sure what part you played in it. So if you did play a part, excuse that comment. Not one of you had the decency or respect to come to me as an elected official and ask the question, what is this all about? A decent journalist who is seeking the truth has a moral and ethical obligation to go and get both sides of a story and not just print one side and not just assume. And none of you did that. So yes, I feel my life is threatened with something like this. And you sat there when Mr. Presley asked the question, have you gotten any feedback from anybody? Nobody would say anything. You didn't answer it. But I already know the answer to it. You've gotten feedback because I've gotten feedback. I've gotten feedback from white people. I've got feedback from black people. And they're not satisfied with it, black or white. And they have all said to me, Olivia, we know that's not true. So some people who might not know me might not know. But those who know me know I wouldn't take part in anything that's going to deal with hatred or killing or anything in breaking the law. So on now today, you all want to come and be a part of this press release, this news conference on today, after you have done your damage. Because like I say, damage has been done. Because don't everybody know all of us and what we stand for. It's just the grace of God that those who do know us know we wouldn't dare partake of any such foolishness.
Amen.
And I feel like what you're doing is displaying what you have in your heart to print something like this.
Amen.
Yes. I can say to you, not one of you have ever had me to say anything racist to you, to say anything about hatred to you. In dealing with your media and dealing with me, none of you can say that I've ever said anything racist. If it's right, if it's a fact about what has happened, and it might tend to lean on one side of the color line or the other, call it what you may. But God be my judge. He knows my heart. And know I wouldn't partake of anything such as this that you all have intended to influence this community to believe. Amen.
That's
it's totally ridiculous.
That's right.
It's totally unacceptable. And we are not going to tolerate it. So now you want to go and dig and talk about the use of the Coley Center. Get the records about the Coley Center. You dig on and see what you find. If anybody got any money for using the Coley Center, it definitely was not Commissioner Olivia Coley Pearson.
Right?
I have never used the Coley Center or any facility of the city of Douglas in an inappropriate manner. That's why I announced the meeting of that we were having on October 3rd. That's why I announced it at my city council meeting. And I said then, anybody who is concerned about the community and would like to help and take part, please come. That was my request. But you all are tending to try to divide this community more and more and more. I'm concerned as to who employs the Douglas 9 employees, as well as the Douglas Enterprise. What do these people stand for? I'm really surprised at this time. I'm surprised. Because your editors should have told you, go get the other side. See what they have to say about it before we print this.
Should have been fact checked.
It should have been.
Should have been fact checked.
And it's sad. It's sad because it's too late in the day with too much everything that's going on in our surroundings and our communities and our different states. It's too much and too late in the day to try to print something like this to make white folk feel that they need to go and buy guns, which was announced at a church meeting. Announced at church by a white lady that she needs to go and buy a gun because of this group that has been formed. And I suggest to the rest of y'all that y'all go buy one, is what she was quoted as saying. So if it's in y'all's heart to cause this kind of deliberate tension and division, you need to go check yourselves.
They damaged the community.
You need to go check yourselves. God is not pleased. God is not pleased. When I chose to run for office, I found all kind of opposition. Some by black folks, but some by white folks. And ever since I've been in office, I've had to deal with you all saying statements that were not true, trying to blemish my name. So whatever it is you're seeking, I hope you find it. But I can tell you, my name is not going to be blemished because the people know what I stand for. When I talk to the white city employees, Commissioner Pearson, we know you're not like that. But like I say, my concern is the people who do not know me. Who do not know me.
Amen.
Because my mother, an honorable woman, who I got emails and texts from people telling me when I expressed what was going on my Facebook page, they said, we know what your mother stood for. We know she didn't raise you that way. But I'm wondering, how have you all been raised? Yes, I'm wondering today. I'm wondering today. Because somebody from the media should have had the decency to see the true facts, so justice would be known and would prevail. That's right. This plaque, since you all say recent altercation shines light on new militant organization, that's what y'all said. That's what y'all said. And I'm trying to find out where's this militant organization at. Because it's not us. It's not We are elderly, walking with sticks, but we are militant because we state what is the truth. We're seeking to make the community better, which is what I said at that city council meeting when I announced that meeting on October 3rd. So how did militant organization come out of it? It's wrong. The meeting I had, Southern Rural Black Women, has been here in Douglas Coffee County since 1999. And I was asked to chair and lead this group. Southern Rural Black Women's Initiative for Economic and Social Justice. Not just justice for black people or black women, but it's geared toward women. Because women have had a difficult time finding daycare, someone to keep their kids so they can go to work, trying to finish and get a GED so they can get a good job. That's why this group was formed and has received federal monies and monies from private groups to help people who are a part of this to better their lives. And you would take the meeting we held, which was hosted by Southern Rural Black Women, and distort the facts. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Unless the word is spoke, he pretty much said what he wanted to say. I don't think he broke any law. I don't think he broke any law. The Constitution gives us freedom of speech. Now, I have seen a lot of things that I disagree with as far as the Constitution. You know, Nazis, people with swastikas going through Jewish communities and just targeting them, raising all kind of hell. You know, I personally don't agree with that. And I wonder sometimes, why would somebody that's supposed to be intelligent would pass a law giving people right to do that? I think it's crazy. But that's just what I think. What I think don't run this country. It don't rule this church. I have to abide in my place. That's all. So, Mr. Worthy, he say a lot of things. He do. It don't mean I agree with absolutely everything he said. It don't mean that when organizations like ACLU work with the NAACP to help them accomplish certain things, it don't mean I agree with everything ACLU stands for. But I do know this. In their time, they've done a lot of good things, a lot of decent things, a lot of wonderful things. I know it. So we need to take a little time to really look at things as they are. We back up. Now, he was talking about stepping on the flag. Well, I'm a veteran. I volunteered to go in service right out of high school during the Vietnam War. I volunteered. I'm a veteran. It was my job. Some people flew the coop, went to Canada. But even that didn't bother me. You understand? Because I needed to do what I needed to do. You understand? Because folk don't always do what I think is right, don't mean they are my enemy. I might not like it. Not my enemy. In my lifetime, I've seen a lot of things growing up. A lot of things. I was born in 1953, Fitzgerald, Georgia. People were not generally kind to my folk. They're not kind. When my mother had a problem, in her knowledge of women, if she could not get specific communication from black folk who might know, she asked white folk that she trusted. And they would tell her exactly what to do. But then they'd also tell her this: And the address, that was my mother's name. Don't tell nobody I told you this. See, there have been times where in this culture, even white folks were ostracized, were put in their place for helping folk who look like us. I don't hate white folks. I don't. I work with them. I live with them. I slept with them. And when it comes to the United States military or this country as a whole, I think one of the best things they can do in the world for this country is to institute a national service so we can really have a melting pot. You know, I learned more about folk when I went in the military. I learned more about it. And I'm not saying the national service should be military. Do a whole lot of service. When people are integrated, when people serve people in worse shape than they are, when people do things to promote the country, to help the world, they're better people for it. And they don't think like other people. And they don't do things like other people. Amen. Because the eyes are closed. That's what I want to introduce.
My name is Patricia Lassiter, veteran of the U.S. Army. Y'all put in here on the second page that we believe in burning of the flag and stuff like that. When I went out there and I served my country, plead the oath, raise my right hand to support not this one, everybody. To support my country, but I don't mind burning the flag. It really upsets me with all the lies in here. And I would appreciate if y'all would, as the media, straighten it out. Say our training consists of, yes, I had some of this training in the military, but this is not what we do in our meeting. We're concerned about our community, and there's a lot of problems, but we got to start somewhere. Yeah, we got children out here. We got children on drugs. They got mileage, flopper, all kinds of stuff. We need to solve what is going on with our community. How can we make our community better? How can we get these men to stand up? Get them educated. We need men back in our home. The struggle is real. Y'all done heard the saying, the struggle is real in the black community. And it's in some of y'all, but we trying to figure out a way, and y'all switch and turn it and call us a militant organization. I really don't appreciate it. I'm upset with y'all. Don't hate none of y'all. That's right. But I'm disappointed in y'all. Very disappointed right now.
Yes, I'm Crystal Wynn. I'm Crystal Wynn, a parent of 3. Also, my children's father, my husband, is almost 20 years Army National Guard, okay? E7. And that's the disgrace just off the top. Not only did you put myself in danger, but you put my children's life in danger for someone to think that I'm a part of a militant organization at any given time. Had anybody wanted, they could have come in and attacked me and my children. You know, you guys don't think about, you obviously didn't think about it when you printed it. Because as I was told, you know, nobody's gonna know, I know who I was when I walked in and picked up the paper. I knew exactly who I was. And I'm not affiliated, nor am I a part of any of this. Do I have a little ill will? Yeah. But I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna give it to God because this battle is not mine. And that's all I have to say. May God bless each and every one of you. Oh, also, one more thing. My job. Being that I am the face of my organization, I am an outreach coordinator. If I didn't have the wonderful supervisors and the CFOs and the CEOs that I do have in my organization, I would be without a job until I can get this mess cleared up. But by the grace of God, because I know who's the head of my life and who handles and wakes me up every day, me and my children, and that's my son that's back there who's 8 years old. This is what you could have done. I have children to feed. I have bills to pay. But nobody can consult me and ask me anything. You understand what I'm saying? But now you want to figure out what you can do now. As I say, I'm a hush because I do get angry and Lord is still working with me. You understand what I'm saying? But it's wrong. And for anybody to sit up here and think there's anything right about what you guys have done, put us in a militant organization, that's really a division. And that, to me, is racial alone. Alone. And again, may God bless y'all, be with y'all, and I'm going to pray for y'all.
My name is Minister Tracy Toombs Brockington. I'm going to speak on behalf of my daughter. That picture was in the paper, and my son-in-law, whose picture was also in the paper. They was there that Saturday during the meeting because I was in the hospital. The reason why I'm going to speak for them because they shouldn't speak because I'm the one who had them to go to the meeting to see what was being said about young people. The community trying to help the young people get involved because of the law around here is so crooked with our young people. We got police stopping the young kids for no reason and doing all kind of stuff to the young people. And for y'all to put that in the paper, and my daughter go to school, this is her last year in school. I didn't know it was in the paper until I got a phone call about it was in the paper. And then she came home Friday and was talking to me about that her teacher, not one but two of her teachers, catch this, both of them are white. That showed her the picture in the paper. She had white friends at school. He had white friends. He's half white. I have a white auntie. My daughter, this is her last year in school. Now this right here could harm her. You can't tell me it won't. I know Coffee County. I know people's in Coffee County. I know people's everywhere else and how they deal with situations. See, this stuff right here could jeopardize my daughter for getting her diploma this year. And which I pray to God it don't, because like I said, I'm a minister. I'm a woman of God. I live by God. Wherever I go, I take God with me. God is in my house. God is around me. I don't have to fight a battle when I know God can fight it for me. But I said, I don't like it anymore. I read the paper. I don't like it. Because this is my baby. I only have two. This is my baby. And y'all done made her look bad. You don't have her name, but you got a picture on front. Not only for her friends to see, she can try to get a job. She can go get a job and they probably say, I can't hire you. Ain't you the one in that group that's saying something about white people? Then she at school, around white people, got white teachers, got white friends. I don't want to hang with you because ain't you in that group that don't like white people? That's not right. And it hurt me to my heart so bad. I said she wasn't going to say nothing. But I want a public apology to my baby. That's what I want. Because I don't think it was right. I'm a mother. I don't know if you're a father, you're a mother. I don't know. And I don't even care. But I'm talking about mine. I want a public apology to these two right here because they're young. They looking up to us. We ain't looking up to them. They ain't never been our age. We done been their age. Right. And we go by doing things the wrong way. We going back to way back then, way before I was even born. Maybe look like maybe way before y'all was born. And y'all trying to bring all that stuff now. We trying to make the community better. Not just the community, but Douglas, Georgia itself better. And like this right here is just trying to make it even worse. Yes. And like I said, when I looked at it, I really don't want to look at it no more. I ain't going to get a paper. I want to see it for myself. And as I read, I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And that's not God. You don't put things in the paper, and then it got in the paper that y'all said that you don't know what the meeting was being said in the meeting. Then on the back it said something else totally different, like you was there at the meeting, you know what was said. Come on now. Either or. You don't know or you do know. And then you went to add in stuff that was not even said, was not even pertaining to the meeting. And that little thing about Larry Nesmith and Mr. Worthy, whatever they have, that ain't have nothing pertaining to the meeting because the meeting was already being stopped. And that right there hadn't even, the fight or whatever hadn't even took place before the meeting was even stopped. The meeting was supposed to be stopped for what, September. Got canceled until this month. And you know, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed then for my daughter. She planned on when she finished school this year, 2016. She was a senior. And I don't want no problem with her in school. I don't. She's a get along girl. She get along with everybody at her school, her teachers, everybody. When both of these kids right here walk in a public job and try to get a job, most likely they're going to be interviewed by a white person. I don't want that white person to sit there and tell them, well, I seen y'all in the paper, and this right here what it said about y'all in the paper. That's wrong. That's wrong. I don't know who printed, I don't care who printed it, but it's wrong. It's wrong. And like I said, I want a public apology to these kids. I want a public apology.
And I'm very hurt today because memories are coming back to me. We came over with Bobby, my girlfriend and I, to the meeting. And Bobby has been with me through an incident that happened in Waycross, Georgia. October the 4th, 2015. 14, no, my son, 13, 2013. Oh, God. Anyway,
You don't have to go into
I'll just say that my son was murdered by the Waycross Police Department. He was shot 9 times in front of me, his 8-year-old daughter, and his wife-to-be. By 2 cops. They shot him in the head. He had his arms up. It hurts to talk about it. And I was invited to come to the meeting of the minds. And that was the first time that I had spoke publicly about what happened to my son. But I'm just going to say this, and he was a veteran. He had 2 daughters. Both of them were mixed. His wife-to-be was white. We lived in Michigan for 30 years, and we come back here, and they killed my son. My kids, my grandkids, will never see their father. My little 10-year-old and my 22-year-old will never see. He didn't live to see his girls grow up, especially the 10. I can't speak because after hearing the emotion of everyone here and how we are so hurt. Everyone is hurt. I've had 2 surgeries. I have a cane. I've had hip replacement. What I look like flipping. I don't have hate in my heart, even though my son was taken away from me, my only son. I have no hate in my heart for no one. I love everyone. I wouldn't hurt anyone. And to see this in the paper, to see this, I'm appalled. How dare you all? And I know it would seem like I would be the only one that would go get a gun and blow everybody's heads off. But I don't have hate in my heart. But I'm very hurt. Very hurt. There were other things I was going to say, but I can't say nothing. I'm too hurt right now. But may God have mercy on your soul, because you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't want to saw my son.
I just want a public apology. And I have feel no kind of way. I'm hurt. I have grandkids. I'm blessed. 64 years old. Can't hardly go. What I look like with a what they call that gun, a Glock. What am I do with that? Huh? I don't know how to use nothing like that. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want nobody to hurt me or my family or nobody. You know, it's just wrong. Just stand up. Just take ownership of what was done. And let's move on. I'm just hurt. I am.
You all have heard everybody speak and say about how hurt they are. And I'm just reminded of something I read that Dr. King had said, and I can't say it like he said it, but it basically says that it is better to be subjected to the judgment of your society. No. Let me change that. That's not what he said. It's wrong to turn away when you see a human being or an animal being mistreated and done wrong. In other words, injustice, and you turn away. So it's best that you just suffer the criticism or the judgment or whatever that you will get from your fellow folks in society than for the punishment that you'll get to your soul. So, and that's what we tried to do here. We tried to come to the aid of a community, not just ours. We were planning on going out abroad to help better the community. Help better the community, like they mentioned, the different drugs that kids get on. And I say all the time at the city council, we're losing our kids, we're losing our kids. So she and I talked when I had my surgery, she came to see me. I said, what can we do? What can we do? So we said we were going to have a meeting and start trying to implement educational programs, economic development programs, work with other ones that's an establishment to try to come up with ways to improve.
Find activities,
Positivity. Right. That's where all this started from. That's where all of this started from. And then it get turned into that. But the word tells us before the time ends, people will not endure sound doctrine. And my God is revealing before us. We see it. But I plead with y'all. Please. I know this has been done, but please don't do something as treacherous as this again. And I know a lot of folks have asked for retractions and recantation. Well, I want to see that too. But when people see something and read something the first time, that's right, the damage is done. And I want y'all to read something, retract, that we cleared it up with you, that you didn't understand quite what you thought you did, or however you put it. But the damage is done. And we've been having to explain. Everywhere I go, people stopping me. What's this? But like they said, God be with y'all. But I pray for you. Because this is just dangerous. Go ahead, Pastor.
I'll tell you one thing Martin Luther King did, Dr. Martin Luther King. He said that hate was as injurious to the object of hate as it is the subject of hate. But once it's stirred up, the people who do the hate and do the hurt, they get it right too. So I mean, the community is not made any better for it. Not made any better for it.
That's right.
Now that's what he said. So when people hate, they think they're doing something good. It's not even helping them.
It's not.
And since you said you didn't hear any feedback or you didn't acknowledge it, it's out there.
It is.
It's out there. It's out there. It comes back to us.
And some people have even said, not to cut you off, but that they called and asked the question about why was this printed. And then say, well, we wasn't going for the group. We were gunning for Olivia Pearson, Bobby Worthy, Larry O'Hara, or whatever. Okay. Well, what I want to know is, if that's who you were gunning for, I don't know what Mr. Worthy has done to you, and I don't know what Mr. O'Hara has done to you, but I know Olivia Pearson hasn't done a thing to either one of you. So I don't know why in the world you would be gunning for me. I don't understand. Is it because of hate in your heart towards me? I speak up, and I'm going to speak up. This is my calling. Because I'm telling you, when I got elected, I prayed about this thing. God gave me directions to go on this path. And he saw it fit for me to win someone who's been there 20-some years. Mr. Harry, Elisha Harry. But people voted me in. I didn't have any money to fight against Mr. Harry. We were church members. I love him. Love his family. Sidney, love all of them. But I obeyed God. And like I said before, nobody can tell any of you all that I've ever did anything racist to them. Ever. Because I got my heart to deal with. I stand up for what is right, whether you black, white, or other. That's what I do, and that's what I'm going to do. So if it's that you all want to shed me, I'm sorry. I'll die first. I would die up for what is right. And that's what I've done since I've been there.
I don't think it's fair, but I'm gonna open up questions for the media. I don't think it's fair they got to ask y'all questions, so we're gonna open up the media for one question to anyone of us, me or anyone else. That way because we press the time right now. But I do want to say something I forgot to mention. I have spoken to my national chairman, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, which is the black lawyer, is the national president for the Black Lawyers of Justice. He has this article. They are reviewing this, and I just want to bring it to your attention. There's laws that protect when you print children's pictures. Be advised, that's going to come up. What man, woman, or child, I'm not going to call no names, will put a child picture in the paper associated with something like this? He could have simply, easily cut that out. That shows you what kind of man he is, and I'm just going to be 100% real. What I want you to know, this has been sent to Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, and let me explain to you who Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz is. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz is the one that filed the $60 million lawsuits for the citizens of Ferguson. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz is the one that sued the Waycross Police Department for $12.5 million. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz is the national president for the Black Lawyers of Justice, and this is the type of cases that he loves. So once they make their decision, I promise you, Douglas Enterprise, get ready. I hope your country board attorney ready. We got the top of the lines attorney that don't take no prisoners. Understand that, and don't even do it for me. Do it for this baby you put in the picture. Apologize to his mother. Apologize to these people in here. Because there is no sense. I understand y'all print. Like I said, you can print whatever you want by me. I don't care. They talk about Jesus. This is my, like I said, when you talk about me, this is my crack cocaine. This is my high. Understand that. I love it. Understand that. And I'll go to hell toe to toe with the devil. Stand up for what I believe. And you can ask anybody. You can ask any police officer that know me, and they'll tell you the same thing. I'm going to open up the questions to the media. One question per media to any one of the counties. And then we're going to cut it up.
I have a question, and this question first is a question, but it's a comment. I want the panelists and all you who endured the publication of what's in the paper. I want you to know that don't be too hard on the media here in Douglas. Please don't be that hard on them. Because this is a statewide attempt to discredit black people. I'm asking you to go to Boston, G.B.R, and you will see what I'm talking about. Mayor Randy Whipperloo in Gorin, Georgia, they're doing the same thing. They're beating her down worse than anything you've ever didn't want to see. Please, Google that. So now, my question is this. With the height that when I received the press release, I was going to go to Atlanta, but I had to be here. So my question is to you, Bobby Worth, or whoever. I'm going to ask a question, and then I want a response. Did you all notify the TV stations in this area? Did you all just notify the people we see here today?
I notified all the local stations. Albany station did call me back and said they got the press release, and it was supposed to be here. I don't know why they wasn't here. 2 Albany stations. And I did not notify the press. I didn't notify them, but they found out about it anyway. Like I said, my job was, at the agreement at the time, was that we weren't not even going to allow them to hear. But, and I thought about it with the panel, that wouldn't be fair because they are the local media, and you know, and we want them to print the truth and not print something about them. But what I did do is the meeting we had that they took this picture from, they did get that press release. Because you know that they said that in the paper. Now, did get that press release, but yet you still associated it with this.
Right.
Okay.
So that she didn't print the truth.
My response to your response to my question is this: is that I want not only here in Douglas, but all these 15 cities and counties that I'm covering on my Boston G.B.R. YouTube channel. I want everybody to understand that it's written in the volume of sacred law, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set or make you free. Now, if that is true, and if the Georgia News Media Association, if the News Media Association, you know, the big media in the sky, and I'm a part of it, if we withhold truth from the American people, then I don't believe you're going to ever be free, based on what Jesus said. And so it's something that we all should keep in mind. And for the people who are standing up for the founding fathers of this great republic and love truth, all I can say to you, keep your torchlight burning, baby, because somewhere I read heaven and earth would pass away, but my word would stand forever.
One question, man. We got to get out of here. Y'all ain't got no question?
No.
That's fine. All right. All right, well, listen, this is what I want to do. In the media, I don't want y'all to leave. I want y'all to stay for this here. Let's stand in prayer all together. All right, y'all fine with that? All right. Brother, is that all right? Yeah. Lead us in prayer, man.
Everybody knows the Lord's Prayer? Everybody know the Lord's Prayer? Lord, let us repeat the Lord's Prayer. Let's go.
Let's do what you do.
Okay, our Father, who art in heaven.
There's a new day a-coming. Everybody gonna be free. A better day for you and me. Everybody gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. There'll be no more fighting in Vietnam. Everybody gonna be free all over this land. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Everybody gonna be free, gonna be free. Lord have mercy. Everybody gonna be free. Yeah. Everybody gonna be free.
So let's not get that twisted and make sure you print my mama's wife. Really? Since I'm a racist, first of all, y'all don't know the definition of racism. In order to be a racist, you have to have money and power to affect change in an ethnic group. How many black folks got that? We can be prejudiced, but we cannot be racist. Now, y'all want us
Mr.
Oh,
President.
they want us to remember Vietnam.
This is an
They
open
want us to
letter.
be in World War I, World War II.
I want to know.
They want us to remember 9/11, but you want us to forget 400 years of oppression, murder, and innocent people.
Mr. President, can you see
Tell
all
us
the
we need
protesters
to
in the
move. Sir,
streets?
you need to move on. How dare
Look
you?
at all the hungry
You
people.
need to move on 9/11 because your own government did it.
With no shoes on their feet.
Now, that's how I
Did you
say.
hear them all singing?
That's how real
I
life,
can't.
100% all the time.
I wanna be free.
Like I said, the only thing y'all can do is bring up my past. Oh,
Everywhere you go, they wanna be free.
you know what? Y'all got me 500 more friends on Facebook because of me. I appreciate it. Everybody, one that's true. God, you're such a handsome young man. Appreciate it. You got to get the whole. I really appreciate it. Bring it on.
New York ain't no better. They wanna be free. I said they wanna be free. All out Long Island, you hear them saying, free. Up and down.